Most Valuable and Expensive American Canadian Rare Stamps 2001. The 47-cent skating stamp. Issued in 2001. Depicts the sport of ice skating. Piece issued for the 2001 World Skating Championship. Competed in the Canadian city of Vancouver. Located on the Pacific coast of the province. Edition which saw 50 countries participate. And over 220 skaters. In 2001 Russia won first and second place. Followed in third place by the United States of America. On the stamp. Is depicted on the left. A close-up of the skates. To the right. The athlete engaged in a choreography. Above. The writing indicating the event. The world champion of figure skating. Bottom right. The nominal value of the piece. 47 cents of the Canadian dollar. Followed by the writing of the country. Canada. Stamp released on March 19, 2001. Was issued in 2 million copies. It is 13 mm tall. 13.5 mm wide. And is worth double its issue value. 1 Canadian dollar. The 47-cent stamp of the Francophony. Issued in 2001. It depicts an athlete intent on pole vaulting. Commemorative piece. Printed on the occasion of the Francophony Games. Where every 4 years, the 53 member countries of the Francophony come together and compete. A loosely united group of nations. But what they have in common. As the first language spoken in your country. The French. The aim is to have the best athletes from member countries compete. Is to promote the originality of Francophone culture. Encouraging relations between countries. This stamp commemorates the 4th edition of the Games. Held in the city of Hull. In Canadian Quebec. You will be able to see this athlete jumper. Which represents individual effort in sport to achieve excellence. Top right. The nominal value of the piece. 47 cents of the Canadian dollar. To the left. The name of the host country of the Games. Canada. Down. The writing in French commemorating the edition of the Games. Postage stamp issued February 28, 2001. 2,500,000 copies were printed. It is 45 mm tall. 33 mm wide. And is worth 3 times its issue value. $1.50. Baseball's 47-cent stamp. Issued in 2001. Depicts the Toronto Blue Jays logo. Canadian baseball team. Founded in 1977. It was Canada's first team to be promoted to the top division of the American League. Achieved several records. Winning several titles. And reaching the top of the World Championship on more than one occasion. This stamp commemorates their 25th anniversary. On the left, the face of the Blue Jays. Official and volatile logo that actually exists. It lives mainly in the forested areas of North America. To the right. The maple leaf. Symbol of Canada. With a baseball next to him. Under. The writing commemorating their 25th anniversary. Postage stamp released on April 9, 2001. 10 million copies were printed. It is 26 mm high. It is 40.5 mm wide. And on a stamped envelope it can be worth over 10 times its issue value. $5. The 47-cent Summit stamp. Issued in 2001. Depicts a part of the terrestrial globe. Precisely the part of the Americas. Because in 2001, Canada hosted the 3rd Summit of the Americas. In Quebec City. Where the leaders of the 34 member countries of the Americas area. They gathered. To discuss issues affecting the Western Hemisphere. To improve the relationship between countries. And pursue a common goal. On this stamp. You will be able to see the names of all the nations. Appearing in waves. Indicate their mutual dependence. Demonstrating the unified commitment of the group. Top right. The name of Canada followed by the face value of the piece. 47 cents of the Canadian dollar. Down. The writing commemorating the event. To the right. The official logo of the anniversary. Postage stamp released on April 20, 2001. 3 million copies were printed. It is 13.5 mm tall. It is 13 mm wide. and is worth up to 3 times its issue value. $1.50. The 47-cent peace treaty stamp, issued in 2001, was printed on the occasion of the 300th anniversary of the treaty, signed between New France and 31st Nations. Treaty called the Peace of Montreal. It brings an end to nearly a century of conflict over the fur trade between local tribes and settlers. You will be able to see on this piece the representation of the peace negotiation. In the center, in front of the spectators, is the Ottawa tribal chief Hasaki. To the left, 2 ambassadors of the Iroquois tribe. Next to the Potawatomi chief. A little further up on the right, the Governor de Collier of France. Top left, the inscription in French commemorating the event, the Great Peace Treaty of Montreal, followed by the year 1701, signing date, and 2001, anniversary date and printing of this stamp. Piece released on August 3, 2001. It was printed in 4 million copies. It is 12.5 millimeters high. It is 13 millimeters wide, and is worth up to 6 times its issue value. $3. Trudeau's 47-cent stamp, issued in 2001, depicts politician and 15th Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Trudeau. He held the role for 16 years, from 1968 to 1984. Always a supporter of a new Canadian federalism, with equality for both English and French Canada. He was much loved by the people for his reforms to reduce inequality in the country and become an increasingly united confederation. On this piece, you will be able to see him portrayed in a pose. Lower left, the year 1919, indicating the year of birth, and 2000, year of disappearance. Postage stamp issued July 1, 2001. It was printed in 8 million copies. It is 13 millimeters high. It is 12.5 millimeters wide, and is worth up to 19 times its issue value. $9. The 47-cent 150-year stamp, issued in 2001, commemorates 150 years of Canada Post, when in 1851, postal authority was transferred from the colonists of Great Britain to Canada. On the center, you will be able to see the representation of the beaver, image taken from the first stamp, issued in the history of Canada. This animal is the largest rodent in North America. It can reach a length of 1 meter and 30 centimeters, and weigh up to 32 kilograms. Around, the inscriptions indicating the name of the country, Canada, and the face value of the first postage stamp issued by the country, 3 pence. More externally, you will see the inscription Canada 47, which indicates the real value of the piece, 47 cents of the Canadian dollar. Down, the inscription commemorating the event, 150 years of the Canadian Post. Postage stamp issued on April 6, 2001. 5 million copies were printed. It is 30 millimeters high, 20 millimeters wide, and is worth on the stamped envelope of the time up to 21 times its issue value. $10.